Why you forget how to do things when someone watches you. You know how to do it until someone watches. Your boss walks past while you're typing, and suddenly your fingers forget what keyboards are for. Someone waits while you parallel park, and a maneuver you've done 100 times becomes advanced engineering. Someone stands in the kitchen while you cook, and now you're somehow holding the knife wrong. You knew how to do the thing before they looked. You know how to do it again after they leave. So what exactly disappears in between? Here's the strange part. You probably didn't forget the skill. What changed was where your attention went. The moment you became aware of being watched, you stopped only doing the thing. You started watching yourself do it. And for some people, that tiny shift changes everything. Because maybe the real question isn't, why do I forget how to do things? Maybe it's, what happens to me when I feel evaluated? Some people get louder when attention lands on them. Some become funny, some rush, some freeze, and some suddenly become hyper-aware of things they normally do without thinking. Their hands, their voice, their posture, their timing, their face. Things that usually run quietly in the background suddenly feel like they need supervision, and that can be exactly when they stop working smoothly. Think about learning to drive. At first, almost everything required conscious effort. Which pedal? Where are the mirrors? How far do I turn the wheel? Where should my hands go? You were thinking through the mechanics because you had to. The same thing happened when you learned to type. Play an instrument, use design software, throw a ball, cook a familiar meal. At first, the skill was a list of instructions, then repetition changed it. The pieces began connecting, the movements became more coordinated. You stopped thinking about every individual step. The skill started becoming automatic. And that is not laziness, it is efficiency. Your brain is very good at turning repeated actions into patterns that need less conscious supervision. That is why you can type while thinking about the sentence instead of the location of every letter. Why you can make coffee while planning your day. Why an experienced pianist is not consciously instructing every finger where to go. The skill becomes smooth partly because conscious attention steps back, then someone watches, and suddenly conscious attention comes rushing back in. Now you're not just typing, you're noticing yourself typing. Am I too slow? Did they see that typo? Why do my hands suddenly look weird? Do I normally hold them like this? You're not just walking. You're thinking about how walking looks, not just speaking, but hearing your own voice through the imagined ears of everyone listening. Not just performing the action, but monitoring the person performing it. And this is where things can get strange, because a skill that normally works automatically may become less smooth when you start consciously controlling pieces that no longer need conscious control. Psychologists sometimes describe this through ideas such as explicit monitoring. The basic idea is simple. Under pressure, people can focus too closely on the mechanics of a well-practiced skill, and in doing that, they interfere with the automatic coordination that usually makes it work. It is almost like taking a fluent speaker in the middle of a sentence and saying, "Stop, explain the grammar of every word while you continue talking." They still know the language, but now they're trying to use it and supervise it at the same time. That can make something natural suddenly feel unnatural, which explains why an athlete can miss an easy shot under pressure. Why a musician can momentarily lose a familiar passage, and why you can stare at a keyboard you use every day and briefly wonder where the letters went. But this becomes more interesting when we move beyond the skill itself, because the observer doesn't actually have to do anything. They don't have to criticize you. They don't have to say, "You're doing that wrong." They can be completely silent. They may even be supportive. Sometimes all it takes is the possibility that they are evaluating you. A boss, a teacher, a camera, a stranger waiting behind your car, someone saying, "Let me watch." And suddenly the task becomes two tasks. Do the thing and manage what the other person might think of you doing the thing. That second task matters, because now part of your attention is being used to perform, and part is being used to monitor your image. You're no longer only trying to do something well. You're trying to look like someone who does it well. And those are not always the same activity. For some people, this barely matters. They feel watched and continue normally. For others, observation changes the entire experience, especially if being watched feels connected to judgment, competence, approval, embarrassment, or the possibility of getting something wrong in front of someone whose opinion matters. That is why this isn't only about typing or parking or walking. Sometimes it tells you something about your relationship with being seen. Maybe you are completely comfortable making mistakes alone, but the same mistake feels different when someone is there to witness it. Alone, a mistake is information. You correct it, move on, try again. But in front of someone else, the exact same mistake can start feeling like evidence. Evidence that maybe you're not as competent as you thought. Evidence that they might think less of you, evidence that you don't belong. And once a mistake begins to feel like evidence about who you are, the stakes change. Now your brain tries harder to prevent it, so you pay more attention, you monitor yourself more closely, you try to control every movement, and ironically, that extra control can make the task harder. Then the loop starts. You notice someone watching. You become self-conscious. The action becomes less smooth. You notice that it became less smooth. Now you're even more aware of being watched. So you monitor yourself harder. And eventually, you're not thinking, "I'm typing." You're thinking, "Why can't I type?" Which unfortunately gives your brain one more problem to solve. But there's another side to this. Being watched does not always make performance worse. Sometimes an audience can increase energy. People may run faster in competition, speak with more intensity in front of a crowd, focus better when the task is simple and familiar. So the presence of another person is not automatically the problem. The important shift seems to happen when observation becomes self-conscious evaluation, when your attention moves away from the goal and toward yourself. That is why one useful response is not like, "Stop being nervous." That command can make things worse, because now you're monitoring whether you've successfully stopped monitoring yourself. Instead, give your attention somewhere outside yourself to go. Let your conscious attention handle the goal, and let the practice part of you handle the mechanics it already knows. Because the awkward moment does not necessarily reveal your real ability. It may reveal something else. What happens to your attention when you become aware of yourself? So the next time someone walks behind you and your fingers suddenly forget how to type, don't immediately think, "What is wrong with me?" Try noticing the shift. A second ago, you were doing the task. Now you're watching yourself do the task. That difference may be the whole story. And if this happens to you often, it may be worth asking something bigger. What changes in me when I feel watched? Do I rush, freeze, become careful, try to look competent? Start controlling things that normally happen naturally? Because sometimes the problem isn't that you perform badly under observation. Sometimes the problem is that observation makes you leave the experience and start managing yourself from the outside. You did not forget how to do the thing. You became aware of yourself at the exact moment you needed to trust yourself. And when the person leaves, your skill doesn't come back. It was there the whole time. What comes back is your ability to stop supervising it. So tell me, what do you suddenly forget how to do the moment someone starts watching? Subscribe for more Mind Shift.